We have now made it to the pin marked number 1 where the twists are. A couple of things to note as you come on down through the neck. Firstly, the part where the eyes are is the widest part that we have worked so far, and as you can see, the threads are quite spaced apart. There's a lot of white there, and as you come down through the neck, you can see the colours are getting closer together as the neck narrows, and that is absolutely normal. That is exactly what you're wanting. The next thing to remember is always keep the workers at at 90 degrees to the actual pricking. So you're wanting it to be, these are your passives coming down here, and that's your workers. So you're always wanting to make sure that they are going horizontally. Okay, so this just means as you're moving down through the snake, moving the pillow so that these are like, don't work it like that because you will get your attention all mixed up. Always work it so the passives are coming down towards you and the workers are going horizontally. Even in half stitch, you want to make sure that that one worker thread is going side to side horizontally. That's why the cookie pillow, which is this particular round domed pillow, is a good place to start for beginners. If you have a block pillow, just be aware that you might have it on a corner, so you might be a little bit further away from your pattern than you would be normally. And if you have a smaller pillow, that's fine as well. I think this is a 18 or 20 inch one. If you have a smaller pillow, you will find that as you move it around, the bobbins will get closer and closer to the edge. So just be aware of those few things. It doesn't matter whatever you have, make do until you decide that this is for you, or you want to upgrade, or you want to try something different. Nothing is off limits. Nothing is out of bounds. You're not doing anything wrong. Just some things to be aware of. So we are now up to where it says number 1. Excuse me. And we are going to now divide the passives in half so that when we do our vein, it goes down the middle. So that's the workers. They don't count. There's those ones. There's those ones. And there's those ones. So the vein itself will be going down through the middle of the yellow passives. And these numbers on the side here refer to how many twists we are going to put on those workers in the middle. So let me show you. Let's pop those back. We don't need those just for a moment because we're working the first half, which is here. We're going from left to right. Cloth stitch, cloth stitch, cloth stitch, and tension. Okay, that's half. It says one twist, and you keep doing that number of twists until you reach the next pin with a different number. So each time you go back and it's still not here, you carry on doing the number of twists we did before. So we're going through this half of the passives now. Pull them up, twist, twist. Okay, it's difficult to see at the start, but once you've done a few rows, you will see lovely vein coming up through the middle, and it's very pretty. And it also helps with this widening of the pattern. It will help fill in those gaps and stop it being quite so white as it is up here. So we're going back through cloth stitch. As you'll notice, I am speeding up a little bit on the cloth stitch here, as I'm assuming you're all super professional at that now. However, if you need to go back and review it, it is on the original sampler set of videos. You are welcome to view that as many times as you need. So as we come back, there was no number on this pin, so we're still doing one twist, which is what we had before. Pop your pin in there. Now it's still not a numbered pin, that's the next one. So we're still doing one twist. As you can see, it's just starting to open up a little bit in the middle now. We've done a couple of them. Going back through in cloth stitch to the middle. Let's lengthen these a little bit. One, and and back through the next set, and cloth stitch to the next pin on the right. Okay, pop your pin in. Little tension, little tugs. There, okay. As you can see, it is just beginning to open up now. Okay. So back we go again. There was no number on this pin, therefore we're going to be just doing the one twist. Back through the second half. Okay, and pop our pin in. We've done 2 twists. Pop our pin in here. 2 twists around the pin. Little tension. Okay, the next one is 2. So where we had 1 before, we're now putting in 2. So just going to make these a little bit longer. It uses a lot of thread going backwards and forwards. Okay, so first half. And now where we did 1, we're now doing 2. And this will open up the vein a little bit more. Okay, so that's all the way to cloth stitch the other side. Double twist, pop in your pin. Oops, dropped it. Okay, pop that in there. So the idea of doing a couple of rows of each number of twists is just so that you don't have big gaps in the passives before and after. It's a very gradual tapered shape. If you just went here and did 3, the passives would split above that and you would have a couple of rows of just white thread rather than the twisted effect that we have at the moment. So we're still on 2. There was no number here. Back through the second half. And double twist because the end of the row. Pop our pin in. Everything a little tension here. Okay, we're still on 2. We haven't got to 3 just yet, so off we go again. First half in cloth stitch. We make these a bit longer. Okay. And I just twist that one twice, pop in our pin. Now as you can see, the braid is starting to open up in the middle. It is also beginning to curve away and our workers are no longer horizontal. So we're just going to move it just a little bit around that way, just to keep everything where it should be. And we're going to go back again this way. Okay, so there's 2 twists on this one. We haven't reached the 3 just yet. And then the next half. Okay, 2 twists. Pop in our pin. Okay, so just give these a little tension on this side and a little tension on this side. And there, as you can see, the vein is spreading nicely. It's looking nice and neat. There is very, very little split of the passives above the twists, which is great. That's exactly what you want. I'll pop that down there. Okay, this one has 3, so we're now doing 3 twists in the middle. So the first half, here we go. 1, 2, 3. And just pull those because they're getting a bit more twisted. It's easier to do each tension in the half row and then at the end of the row as well. Sometimes it's difficult to tension the workers when there's so many twists. So we're going to do double twist here to go around the pinhole. Pop the pinhole in there. Okay, now I'm going to work back, but first of all I'm going to just lengthen these all a little bit because they're getting a little bit close to the work. So just bear with me while I do that. So that's all the passives and of course the workers. And the workers should have roughly, on average, 3 times the amount of the pattern. 4 times is probably better, just in case you put extra twists in or you need to do some fancy moves that might require a little bit more. So if each of these passives has probably, I don't know, probably about 60 centimeters on each one, so 120 length split in half. So I would probably put possibly about maybe 3.5 meters, put them on there. That's how much this takes. You will not use it all, but it's a good starting point. I'll put those measurements in the starting up preparation video as well for those that are interested. And then we will just carry on with this one. We are going back this way. We are on the first right hand half. Going into the middle, we're doing 3 twists. 1, 2, 3. And then we're off to the left again. Okay, so I didn't tension that there deliberately. So when you come to this end, you'll see if you don't tension the first half and then the second half, how much of a struggle it can be sometimes. So if you pull one worker and then pull the other worker and then hold them and then pull each of these bobbins individually, you will see that although it does tension, this is not quite as neat as the ones above it, purely because of how many twists are in there. So it's always better to tension little and often than it is trying to do it all in one go at the end. Okay, so we work the second half, and we're doing a double twist because we're at the end of the row. And let me show you how nice and neat that vein is. Can you see how that works? It fills in the gap. It keeps your threads all bunched up so they're nice bright colours, and it gives some interest to both the worker and to the visual impact of your lace. And it's also a pretty cool thing to do, let's face it. Okay, so moving the pillow down a little bit more. Let's go back and do the next one. So you work to the middle. There's no numbers on this one, so we're going across to this pinhole. So we're still doing 3. 1, 2, 3. Across here and across to here, and I really need to make these a bit longer. So let's do that, and then double twist, popping in your pin. So we're just making sure we're tensioning these as we go, nice and smoothly. Back we go the other way. 1, 2, 3. 3 twists again. There was nothing on that pin, no numbers. Pop that in there, and then back this way. 2 and 3, and double twist, and popping in a pin. Now, as you can see, this is starting to ride up here. This is not uncommon. It's because I'm using pricking card and not paper or the cardstock that a lot of people use. This is actual pricking card. It's like a waxed parchment paper. It's quite stiff and quite hard. And my pillow is very old and a little bit soft underneath here. Do not panic if this happens. As long as you continue to keep your pins on the angles pointed outwards, it will be fine. It's just a case of what you use to put your pricking on. If the stiffer the cardboard you use, the more likely this is to happen, because you are tensioning on top of it, and it just seems to buckle up a little bit. If you're using a paper one, you can just put a pin in there and pin it down. It's fine. It's not actually affecting the lace itself. Okay, so please don't panic if this happens to you. As you can see, it's gone as it's gone over the curve, over the dome of the pillow. Quite normal. It also helps that you have the cover cloth in place here to keep it relatively flat. Okay, so we're just going to go back to the other side now. So that's the first 3 done. 2, 3 twists, tension, and back all the way to the other end. Okay, now that is the widest part of the vein done. As you can see, we're now decreasing, so we'll pop a pin in there. So when you get to the vein part with the twists, the next lot you do is 2. So let's carry on and do that. So the first pair, second pair, third pair. Now we did 3 here. Now we're doing 2. 1, 2. Because we're decreasing as the braid itself gets smaller. We are coming out of the big vein that we did, and making the tapering towards the end. Pop a pin in there. Okay. So the next pinhole you go to the left is another 2, and then right is 2, back to this one is 2, and then when you get to this one, it's one twist in the middle, and then it's 1 twist right up until you get to this pinhole here, and when you stop twisting altogether. So I will meet you on this pinhole here where it says 0, and I will show you what it looks like.